Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. SSET Englishtown.
Okay, hi everyone. We are going to study 1B reading comprehension, page 41 to 43, and vocab list selection 10. So let's get started with the vocab list selection 10. So look at this paper first. I already wrote down these 6 words on the whiteboard. So let me explain from the first one. Bake. So what is bake? Look at the definition first. To cook something such as bread, cake, or cookies with dry heat in an oven. So bake is usually cooking bread, cake, or cookie like this dessert. And oven. So definition is used in a kitchen. It has a door and it is for cooking food. So when we bake bread, we need oven, like this one, and there's a big door and some space, so we can put the bread into this, like this. There's a bread, and I said rack. So what is rack? Definition is shelf. So this thin and flat rack, and we can put our food like bread here or cookie like this. So this is kind of shelf, so that is called rack. And next one, crumb. Crumb is a very small piece of food. So when you are done with eating some food on the floor or on your table, there might be something really small pieces of that food you ate. So that is called crumb. And case. So the definition is problem. So if something happened, and I'll tell you later, because our title is case something. And last one is missing. So the definition is, if someone or something is missing, you cannot find them. So you cannot see where it is. So first, for example, you had an apple, but you lost it. So the apples are missing right now. So today we have only 6 words to study. That's easy. So let's move on to our student book, page 41. So this page, our title of this story is The Case of the Missing Cookies. So missing cookies, what did I say? You cannot find them. You cannot find out where it is. And what about the case? Case is the problem. So someone's got a problem with missing cookies. They might have lost their cookies. So let's study this story. Before reading, let's look at the green box here. Before reading question. So first one is, have you ever baked cookies? That means, did you ever bake cookies? Or you might think of bread or any kind of food. Actually, I'm not that good at cooking, so I sometimes cook at my home. But what about you? You might be really good at cooking. You might have a talent with cooking. So you might often cook something for your mom or your little brother or sister, for your family, or it can be for your friends. And second one is, how do you make cookies? How do you make cookies? as we talked before, there might be an oven and we can cook this in the kitchen. So first, you might have to go to the kitchen and find some tools to help you cook. So let's get into the text. So I'm going to read the first paragraph first. I made cookies one day. I made the cookies I like the best. Chocolate chip. When the cookies were done, Mom and I took them out of the oven. I put the cookies on a rack and left the kitchen. So with this first paragraph, this girl made cookies one day, just one day, and she made a cookies she likes the best, the most. That is chocolate chip. This is what she likes the most, the best. And when the cookies were done, they finished cooking. Mom and I, they took them out of the oven. This is rack, and these are cookies. And she put the cookies on a rack like this and left the kitchen. So let's read second paragraph. When I went back into the kitchen later, the cookies were missing. All that was left were crumbs. There were crumbs on the rack. There were crumbs on the table. There were crumbs on the floor. There were crumbs on the rug. But there were no cookies. So cookies are missing right now. When she went back to the kitchen, she couldn't find where the cookies are. The only thing she could see was just crumbs. Like this is kitchen, some crumbs here, and on the table. This is table and some crumbs. Only very small piece of cookies, but not original one. This is gone. She couldn't find. She couldn't see where the cookies are. So second paragraph topic is the cookies were missing. There were no cookies. And last paragraph is short. Let me read. Who ate my cookies? Well, Spot, my dog, was in the kitchen with me. Maybe Spot saw who ate my cookies, but he's not talking. I guess I'll never know. So what is the result? Last part? She thought, who ate my cookies? Well, Spot. Spot is her dog's name. Was in the kitchen with she. And she thought maybe Spot saw who ate her cookies. So she guessed she'll never know. This is the last part of this story. She thinks she'll never know where the cookies are. So let's look at the blue box during reading questions. The first one is, what kind of cookies were made? What did she make? What cookies did she make? Her best cookie, chocolate chip. And second one is blue box. Why were the cookies put on a rack? Why were the cookies put on a rack? Like this. So answer is because cookies were done. They finished cooking cookies and they needed to cool off. Oven was too hot inside, right? So when they took them out of the oven, these cookies needed to be cooled off. And yellow box after reading questions. First one is, why were there crumbs everywhere? Crumbs. Crumbs is very small pieces. But why these are everywhere? Because someone ate it. Someone might have eaten it. Someone ate it. Someone ate the cookies they baked. And second one, who do you think ate the cookies? Why? So, do you guess? Can you guess who ate the cookies? For me, my opinion, the dog Spot. This dog might have eaten their cookies all because this dog was the only one that was in the kitchen. Just my opinion. But there's no answer. You might think of another idea, like her father would have eaten that, or her little sister might have eaten that. Okay, so let's move on to next page, 42. So page 42, the title is Make Inferences. So what is inference? Inference means to guess what happens, or to guess what happened in the past. That is inference, based on some stories. So number one, let me read. Please look at number one question. All that was left were crumbs. There were crumbs on the rack. There were crumbs on the table. There were crumbs on the floor. Where did the crumbs come from? Come from where? Easy. The crumbs, this is cookies crumbs, came from the chocolate chip cookies. These crumbs came from chocolate chip cookies. And number two, let me read. When the cookies were done, Mom and I took them out of the oven. I put the cookies on a rack and left the kitchen. Why were the cookies put on a rack? So why cookies were put on the rack? Because cookies were done, finished, and needed cool off. Number three, let me read. Well, Spot, my dog, was in the kitchen with me. Maybe Spot saw who ate my cookies, but he's not talking. Who do you think ate the cookies? Why? Who do you think? Who ate cookies? So in my opinion, or you can write the another one, there's not actually exact answer. So you might be able to write down maybe Dad ate them because he didn't know Mom and I he didn't know mom and I made them together. So you might think of her dad. So maybe dad ate them because he didn't know mom and I made the cookies together. So he just ate it because he might have been really, really hungry. So did you guys all write down? I'm gonna erase this. So let's move on to the next page, 43. So identify sequence. Sequence is the order, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So number one. So there are two sentences. So you need to pick only one. Which happened the first? The first one. So number one. First one is I put the cookies on a rack and I made cookies one day. So which sentence happened first, earlier? So I made cookies one day. That is first. So number one. You have to circle the second one. Number two. Also, there are two sentences. Number two, who ate my cookies and I left the kitchen. So what's the first? She left the kitchen in the first. I left the kitchen. And number three, also there are two sentences. Number one is, when I went back into the kitchen, the cookies were missing. And second one is, when the cookies were done, mom and I took them out of the oven. So missing first or took them out of the oven was first. Taking them out of the oven was first. And they knew that someone ate their cookies. So also second one. When the cookies were done, this one, circle, circle, circle. And number four, first one is there were crumbs on the floor. And second one is, well, Spot, my dog, was in the kitchen with me. So, after they saw there were crumbs on the floor, she was thinking of her dog. So also, second one is the answer. Not second one. First one. She saw that there were crumbs on the floor and she was thinking of, my dog Spot. He was in the kitchen. And last one, also two sentences. First one is, maybe Spot saw who ate my cookies. And I made the cookies I like the best, chocolate chip. Which one is the first? What happened the first? Second one, I made the cookies I like the best. So, except for number four, all answers are second one. That happened first. So, do you guys understand what sequence is? Sequence is first, second, third, fourth. Order. Like, I wake up in the morning and I brush my teeth and I have breakfast and I go to school. This order. And last one is one thing. draw a picture of your favorite kind of cookies in the box below. You can draw which cookies you like. Chocolate chip or mint choco, strawberry, nut, butter cookie. There are so many kinds of cookies. So pick only one and draw in the box. So that is the end of the class.